If you're gonna be moving on solo, wait a second, cause they're playing the best song. I'll be there if you reach out to me. Reach out to me. Reach out to me. I'm a rolling stone.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is Bruna and today we are going to be learning how to crochet some amazing avocado earrings. Yes, these ones right here. And they're amazing because I'm in love. I love how they turned out and I'm like, I cannot stop smiling. Every time I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh my god, they look amazing. And I think they do, in my opinion. Opinion? What did I say? In my opinion, they look amazing. Let me know in the comments what do you think about them and if you're going to be making them too. And I'll probably be rocking them during summertime when I go to Spain. I love going to Spain, so I'll probably be taking a lot of pictures with these earrings right here. I don't know guys, I love them so much. And this tutorial is super easy. If you are a beginner, don't be scared, go for it. You will make a few mistakes, that's completely normal for a beginner, but I do explain every single thing in detail, so you will be able to make one even if you are a beginner, alright? Don't be scared, sending a lot of love. But yeah, everyone, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you do, make sure to give a massive thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe, to turn on the notification, to receive a notification every time I post a new video. I nearly forgot what to say. And also comment below how it was for you to follow today's tutorial. Enjoy everybody, and let's begin with today's tutorial. So these are all the materials we are using for today's project. So starting right here with our yarns, I have 4 different yarn shades right here. So I have 2 light greens. They are not the same shade. This one is a little bit lighter than this one. These ones are from Testland.com and these are the Iggy yarn. I really love this yarn. It's my favorite one ever as a cotton yarn. Super soft, really good to crochet with. And then last right here we have the brown yarn, which is the middle of the avocado, and then the very dark green for the outside to mimic the skin of the avocado. These are scrap yarns that I had already in my house, but if you have the same yarn weight for all of the yarns, you can do that as well, or you can just use any scrap yarn that you have. Also, we are going to be using for the crochet part right here a tapestry needle, 1 stitch marker, a 3mm hook, a small pair of scissors, and then here for the earring, the jewelry making side of it, we are going to be using 3 jump rings. I'm leaving all the millimeters and the sizings for everything in the description, so do check it out if you're wondering. And then we are also going to be using 2 earring posts, which is the base for our earring. And then you can decide in between a butterfly or a rubber back, depending on your taste really. I'm using a rubber one right here because I think that's my favorite out of the 2. And then we are also going to be using a round nose plier and a flat nose plier to close the jump rings. And last but not least, we are going to be using a hot glue gun. You can use anything else that you have around your house to glue the post into the top of our earring. That's why we are using a hot glue gun, but you can just decide on how you're going to be doing this part if you have any other idea. So yeah, these are all the materials I'm going to be using. So now let's begin with the tutorial. So first we're going to be starting with the brown yarn and we are going to be creating a magic ring. Just go around your fingers just like this. Pull the yarn through the first one. And then right here, you already have your magic ring. And then you're going to be chaining 2 right after you create the magic ring. So around the magic ring, we are going to be creating 5 single crochets. Once you've done that, you are going to be having 5 single crochets plus the chain 2 at the beginning. So now you're going to be pulling this yarn and you're going to be closing the magic ring. And then we are gonna go right into the chain 2 right here. And then we are going to be closing with a slip stitch. So now we are going to be chaining 1. We are not turning the circle, so we are just going to be working anti-clockwise. So once you've chained 1, we are gonna go right into the same stitch from the chain 1, and we are going to be creating a single crochet. And from here we are going to be creating 2 single crochets into every stitch all the way around. Find the next one and 2 single crochets. So the very first one, we had 6 single crochets. So for the next row, we are supposed to have 12, which is double the amount from the very first row. And 12. Once you have 12 completed, we are gonna go right into the very first chain 1 that we've created. You will see that you will have a little gap right here, but that's completely fine. Close it with a slip stitch. So now for the third and last row with the brown, we are going to chain 1 and then single crochet into that same stitch. We are going to be repeating exactly like the second row right here. So we are going to be creating 2 single crochets into every stitch all the way around until you have 24 single crochets. Again, double the amount from the second row. And 24 right here. So now you're gonna go into the very first stitch you can find and slip stitch. So now we have the middle completed. We can now chain 1 and then we are going to be cutting our yarn. You can just leave a little bit here so we can weave in. And then you're going to be pulling this yarn and just give it a tug to fasten off. So here you can see the difference a little bit better. Darker one, lighter one. So get the lighter green. So we are going to be starting with the slip knot. So you can choose any stitch going around here to attach your yarn. I usually do a little bit before this yarn so I can weave this one already in with my single crochets. So I'm gonna get this one right here. And then with this one, I'm just gonna get the first loop and I will go through the second one and slip stitch so I can just attach this yarn in place. I'm going to also weave this yarn in already. So first you're gonna go into that very first stitch and then here we are going to be creating a single crochet. We are going to be continuing now with our increases. So this row is going to be, the previous one was increases all the way around. So now we are going to be doing 1 single crochet and then 1 increase. 1 single crochet, 1 increase, 1 single crochet, 1 increase all the way around. So the first one is 1 single crochet. So the next one is going to be an increase, and an increase is just 2 single crochets into 1 stitch. So now we are going to be doing 1 single crochet. So the next one is going to be an increase. So 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Also, you have to remember to cover all the 24 stitches that you have here. You can always count at the end to make sure that you have covered all the stitches. Go into the next one and 1 single crochet. The next one, it's an increase. The next one is 1 single crochet. And this is what we are going to be repeating all the way around. So 1 single crochet, 1 increase, 1 single crochet, 1 increase, going all the way around. The end right here, we are going to be finishing with an increase into that very last stitch, which matches the beginning, which we've started with 1 single crochet. Once you've done that, you're going to go into the very first stitch and you're going to slip stitch the sides together. And our row number 4 must have 36 single crochets. So now let's go into the next one. So you're going to chain 1 and into that same stitch again, you're going to be creating a single crochet. Now is the time where you can start using your stitch markers if you are a beginner, because then it's going to help you to find the beginning of the row. So for the 5th row, it's going to be 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then an increase. Single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, all the way around. So the first one is going to be 1 single crochet. So the next one is going to be 1 single crochet, and then the 3rd stitch is going to be an increase. So 2 single crochets into the same stitch. So it's going to be single crochet into the next 2 stitches, 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then the 3rd one is going to be an increase. And I'm just going to be repeating the same steps all the way around, and I'll meet you right at the end. So the last stitch here from this row, it's going to be an increase. So create 2 single crochets into that same stitch. Now you're going to be removing the stitch marker, and into that stitch you're going to be slip stitching the sides together. And into this last row here, we have 48 single crochets. So now we are going to fasten off because we are going to be changing into the other green. So chain 1, cut the yarn and fasten off. So now you're gonna get the other green, and then we are going to be starting with a slip knot. And we are going to be attaching again into any of the stitches here, going around the last row. I'm going to be doing it right here, attaching it with the slip stitch. So you're going to chain 1 and single crochet into the same stitch. And before we continue going around, we are going to be counting 10 stitches here on the other side. And then we are going to be placing a stitch marker because we are going to be creating into the last stitches here. We are going to be, instead of doing single crochets, we are going to be doing half double crochets. So get your stitch marker and count 10 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So from here, we are going to be continuing our single crochets. So now we are going to be doing 3 single crochets and 1 increase, 3 single crochets and 1 increase all the way around. So we've started right here with 1 single crochet, so the second one and the 3rd one into the 3rd stitch. So now we are going to go into the next one and we are going to be doing an increase. So the next one right here on top of our fasten off. So 1, 2, 3 single crochets into the next 3 stitches, and then the 4th one is going to be an increase. So now you can just repeat the same all the way around. Then before the stitch marker, we are going to be having 2 stitches. So my last one here was an increase. So here I'm just going to be doing the 2 single crochets into the last 2 stitches before the stitch marker. When you get here, you're going to be removing the stitch marker, and now we are going to be creating 10 half double crochets here where we have these 10 stitches. So how to make a half double crochet? You're going to wrap the yarn around the hook, you're going to go through the next stitch, you're going to pull up a loop. You will have now 3 loops on the hook, and then now you're going to yarn over and pull through all the loops together. and we are going to be having right here 10 half double crochets. So continue all the way to the end right here with the half double crochets. So now you're going to be finding the very first stitch and you're going to slip stitch the sides together. So now we are going to be working only on top of these half double crochets. So get the stitch marker again, and you're going to be counting the 10 half double crochets. So here is the first one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Place a stitch marker again here. If you want, I would suggest you using a stitch marker for this. You can even use another one. I'm gonna show you. So first we are going to chain 1. We are going to be turning our avocado. We are gonna go right into this very first stitch. You can see that there is a little stitch right here. That's the second one. So go through the first one, and then you're going to pull up a loop, and then go into the next one and pull up another loop. Now we are going to be having 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through. This is how we do a decrease. So this one right here is a single crochet decrease. What you can do to help you is to place a stitch marker right on top of this stitch, so you know that this one is the last one when you come back right here. So now you can just continue with single crochets until you have 2 stitches left. So once you have the 2 last stitches, you're going to be also creating an increase here at the end. So pull up a loop into the next one, keep that on the hook, remove the stitch marker, and do the same into the last stitch. Yarn over and pull through. We are going to be doing more rows now with the decreases. So chain 1, turn project, go into the first one, pull up a loop, the next one, pull up a loop, and decrease, return a stitch marker, and then I'll go all the way down with single crochets, and then you're also going to be creating another decrease here at the end. So now I'm just going to be continuing right here. I'm going to be creating my 3rd row. I think I've done 4 rows with decreases, but I'm going to be doing here and then I will let you know. Yeah, I've done 4 rows with decreases. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We can now fasten off because we are done with the middle of the avocado, and now we are going to move on into the darker green. Create a slip knot and attach into any stitch you want. I'm going to do right here. So attach your yarn in place, chain 1 and single crochet into that same stitch just to start the row. And now we can just create single crochets all the way around the avocado right here. So when you get to the side where you don't have any stitches like here, you can just guess, and I can go right here inside of this little gap and create a single crochet, and then right here. Okay, I'm just going to be now continuing here with my single crochets, going all the way around. So I'm getting here towards the end, just doing my last 2 stitches, and then you're going to be finding the beginning and you're going to slip stitch. So from here we are going to be creating slip stitches going all the way around. So find the very first stitch and you're going to slip stitch. You can place a stitch marker. So you're just going to be finding the next stitch and creating a slip stitch. find the next one and slip stitch. Next one, slip stitch. And then just repeat the same all the way around. It just gives a better finishing, and it also keeps the earring nice and straight. So my last one completed. I'm going to be removing my stitch marker and then just slip stitch, find a stitch, and then slip stitch. And now we can fasten off. So chain one and fasten off. So once you are done, this is how it should look like. And now we can just cut all of these yarns here. The ones that we have to weave in, we can weave in. The ones that we can cut, we can already cut. For example, these ones here, we can cut them already because we weaved with the single crochets. And then the ones that you need to weave in, all you have to do is to thread the yarn in your tapestry needle. And then you're just gonna go through a couple of stitches going back and forth. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and cut your yarn. And now you can just repeat the same into all of the other ones. So now we have the main part completed. Now we have to do this little thing here, which is the top of our earring. Here it's very simple. We are just going to be repeating the first and the second row again, but changing the color. I've used my darkest shade. So the light one is here. So I've used the darkest one, not the darkest one, the darkest one in between these two shades. And with this yarn, all you have to do is to create a magic ring. And then you're going to chain 2. And you're going to be creating 5 single crochets. Close the magic ring, go into the very first chain, and slip stitch. Now we can fasten off. So chain 1, cut the yarn, and fasten off. Now you're gonna get the darkest green and then you're going to create a slip knot. So now you can just choose any stitch to slip stitch and to attach your yarn in place. And then you're going to chain 1 and single crochet into that same stitch. Go into the next one and create 2 single crochets. So we are going to be repeating exactly the same as we did into the second row from the avocado right here. So 2 single crochets into every stitch going all the way around. Make sure that you have 12 single crochets and 12. So find the very first stitch, any stitch you can find, and then slip stitch the 2 sides together. So once you've done that, we can now fasten off. So chain 1, fasten off, and we can weave in all these yarns here at the back. So now we have the 2 parts that we need completed. I'm going to turn on my hot glue gun now so we can go into the next step. So while the hot glue gun is warming up, we are going to add the jump rings. So all we have to do is to hold the jump ring with the flat nose plier just after the opening. The opening is right here. And then with the round nose, you're just going to open like this. Oh, it's so hard to show everybody, but I think you know what I mean. Because they are super tiny. Just hold it, hold both sides, and then you're just going to twist it. My cat is playing. Once you have the 3 opened right here, I'm going to first insert one here into our avocado. So get one of them, and you're gonna get the middle stitch from the top, and then you're going to be inserting one of them right here at the top, and you can just go ahead and close this one just by untwisting it. So now you can go ahead and do the same with this one. Choose a stitch and then place the jump ring, and then you're going to be just closing it. Hold one side, and then with the other plier, you're just going to be closing it by joining the 2 sides together. It's not hard, it's just hard to explain. We are going to be now adding one right in the middle. So you will have the bottom and the top just like this. And then you're gonna grab the last jump ring, and then you're going to be inserting it through the first one, and then do the second one right after. So you make sure that both of them are facing the same direction. Also that both of them are with the right side facing the front. And then once you've done this, you can go ahead and close the jump ring. So this is how it should look once you have all the jump rings and the top and the bottom together. I know it's hard to show here in the camera, but hopefully you understood what I've done. So now the last thing we have to do is just to glue the post here at the back. So what I do, I just put a little bit of hot glue right here into the base. So I put about that much. And then I just glue here at the back. And what I do once it's nearly dry, I just push it down so we don't have any lumps going around here the post. So once you've done that, we are done. The last thing we have to do is just to decide which one we want. If we want the rubber back or if we want the butterfly. I like the rubber one because it's a little bit more comfortable. So we can go ahead and place that here at the back, and we are done, everybody. Let me show you both of them. So here we have our avocado earrings. Oh my goodness, they look so cute. I really hope you enjoyed. I had a lot of fun making this. I was smiling the whole time from the beginning of the video until now. This is just the cutest little tutorial that I ever done. So if you are wondering, I'm just going to be measuring the earring for you. So from the top to bottom, it's 12.5 centimeters, and in inches, it's nearly 5 inches, as you can see. And then here on the sides, it's 7.5, 3 inches. And the little thing here at the top, it's 2 centimeters. So it's around 1 inch. I'm so excited, everyone. We are finished. Congratulations, everyone. But yeah, everyone, this is it for today's video. Thank you so much for sticking out until the end. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. It was a smaller tutorial, which you always ask me to do, so I'm super happy with this one. So if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give a massive thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe, to turn on the notification bell to receive a notification every time I post a new video. Also, let me know in the comments below how it was to follow today's tutorial, and if you make it, do share with me on my social media. I love seeing your creations, the things that you do using my tutorials. So thank you everyone for watching today's video, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye! Ooh, I love it!